If one day Squid Game, Kaiji, and Among Us made a baby together, they'll give birth to the Tomodachi Game. I rarely get to watch a death game anime that entertains me nowadays, and also people tend to compare them to either Kaiji or Squid Game. Normally, I'll give an anime 3 episodes before I either drop it or watch it till the end. But for this anime, I did the latter. Here's why. Tomodachi Game is an anime involving a group of high school students who ended up joining a game called the Tomodachi Game. They're here because one of them brought them here by stealing 20 million yen, or $150,000, from their classroom using it as payment for the game. Keep in mind that person has a huge debt of 200 million yen, or 1.5 million, which is why they did it. And now that person is making the group share the entire debt as well. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Although it's technically not a death game since they don't die, since the only bad thing that happens is either A, they lose their trust in their friends and vice versa, and B, they gain a substantial amount of debt. In other words, the death game in this case is not that they lose their lives, they just lose their entire life savings, which technically can also lead to their debts. Sounds like a clusterfuck, I know, but the reason why this clusterfuck is entertaining to me is the main protagonist of this anime, Yuichi Katagiri. You see, he's not just an average Joe. He's actually a cold and calculated person who ended up controlling each game that he plays in his favor, from slowly revealing the trait of the group to outsmarting the genius of the other group in the third game. It's entertaining because you most likely have no idea what Yuichi's thinking until he reveals his tricks to everyone at the end of each game, making them shit their pants, of course. Well, not literally. Even the observers of the game are just as shocked. Take the second game as example. He takes full advantage of the rules of the game to turn the tables around even if he's in a disadvantage. The second thing I like about this anime is how for each episode, the anime starts answering some questions that lingers in our minds, but gives us even more questions as well. The mystery is what makes us enjoy the world building of this anime. Who's the actual traitor? Why was the Tomodachi Game was made and who made it? What happened in Yuichi's past that made him like this? And so on. Although not all the questions have been answered so far, neither the manga has all the answers to that. The type of mystery that I like are mysteries that are pretty difficult to predict, even with the provided knowledge that we may have until the moments before it happens. Like this anime, of course. The other thing I want to add is although what I might say sounds like an issue about this anime, but it's actually a good thing, which are cliffhangers. Let me explain. Imagine watching your favorite anime, and when it gets to the best part, it ends in a cliffhanger, and you're forced to wait for the next episode to air to see what happens next. If this was an action-focused anime, then this might turn off a lot of viewers since you have to wait for a week, at least, to see the next episode. However, the Tomodachi Game used its cliffhangers to make the viewers speculate what did Yuichi do to win the second and third round. Unless you wait for all the episodes to air and watch them all at once, then good for you. Also, the way the story was written makes it difficult to not end an episode in a cliffhanger. Like the last episode. Oh, by the way, the manga has a rating of 8.44 in my anime list as of making this video, which I also agree since I've read into the latest chapter and the arcs after the first season are way more intense than this. However, even with all the good points of the anime, at a certain point the story becomes a bit predictable, since we know that Yuichi will win at the end, even if we don't know how he won. He just will because he's the main protagonist, of course. Take the third game as example. New premise, new characters, new rules. Game starts where Yuichi is under a disadvantage, then gains the upper hand, gets outsmarted by his opponents, and Yuichi outsmarts him back at the end while revealing his strategy. It becomes this in a nutshell. All in all, the anime is pretty decent and becomes entertaining at later episodes, even with its downsides. I'm not surprised if there's going to be a second season of this due to the massive cliffhanger at the end of the season. So, if you haven't watched this anime yet, and you like this type of genre, I suggest you to watch this anime. Since this video is over, let's say 5.